I mean, I hear a lot of things swirl up that one time Simone was in a relationship with a white man, or I think it's one of them South American men. I don't know what he does. And to me, okay, so why it did not work out where it's something that's more than a fling? Because the problem I have, and disingenuous with these conversations, unless you're being wedded off and being married, what you're doing here is you're screwing. That's me. But before I go on, I say caller. Caller, who's this?
Yeah, hey, Gary, how are you? Solution.
How you doing, Mr. Solution? How you doing? What's good?
I'm doing
No,
well.
no, time, Gary, Solution. I did not remember you. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, Mr. Solution?
Yeah, good to hear from you. I think this is a foregone conclusion that men of all different economic types and ethnic types, they're going to other countries where women appreciate them more. So it may be that situation of a so-called problem may have been overcome by the event. What do you think?
To me, black women gave this life. No other people are giving this life. I think black women are giving this more attention in life than everybody else. Because I did not knew about this interview Simone and her husband had with people at TV. This was days ago.
You cut out, Gary. Try it again.
You hear me good? You hear me good now?
Yeah, you cut out, though. Try it again.
All right, I was saying this. Black women have gave this, what was put out on the internet, life. And as a person that outside looking in, Ms. Solutions,
right.
I have not watched the whole video, and I probably will do more extensive content on this week.
Yes.
My thing is this: why is people so invested on somebody else's marriage, and you're not married? Like literally, and the advocate someone should get divorced. This is new to me, Ms. Solution.
Right, but
you don't see. I would say this: you do not see men if they really invested and they find that this woman was off the rail. They will be making content, be on comment posts saying, "Get a divorce, get a divorce."
Right.
Have you noticed this? Have you seen this?
Well, let me just say this. I think you hit the nail on the head because a lot of this is for content creation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so if you look at it from that angle, I mean, I've seen people. Now, some of it's pretty good. I watch some of it, listen to it, watch it. But I think with men going to various other countries, and there are plenty of women in those countries. Now, it is a little bit cumbersome, but it gives the men a chance to travel and just leave the women here alone because the laws and I was looking at Tommy Lauren, and she is a Caucasian lady by, I guess, by her classification. But at any rate, she called men trash.
31-year-old journalist, Tommy Lauren, 31-year-old.
Right, that's her. She called men trash. Now, they backed her up on that.
That was years ago. But she had it repeated.
It's been a while ago, but I recall it. You were talking about Mr. Samuels, and he referenced that also. But, I mean, women in America have just, they've got to find their space, their place, their niche, whatever. And it's, things are too high. Guys are saying it costs so much. Now they go to other countries. There's a guy I look at sometimes. He's in Brazil. Another one is going around the world. But dating is so much more easy. The women like the men. I mean, it's not perfect there, but a lot of this is answered, and I don't think it's going to be fixed. It can't be. Now, we can talk about it, of course, but it may be a little bit of a waste of time. So men are just going to other places. They're hopping on the plane, getting their passport, and just dealing with women that are you remember what Kevin used to say, feminine, fit, and friendly, those,
Mm-hmm.
the three F's. Yeah. So
Wait,
maybe you should, go
Mr.
ahead.
Sue,
Go
stay
ahead.
on. I'm just going to open this line. I just want to make sure you're still on. Stay right there. Caller, who's this?
What's going on, Gary? Welcome back, brother.
I don't. All right, Mr. Solution, continue talking.
Well, yeah. Oh,
I got something for that ass, Mr. Solutions. Go ahead.
This is Jay from New York. Jay from New York dissed on $50,000. He disrespected $50,000. I'm just throwing that out there. So
yeah, but we'll get to the 50,000. Finish what you gotta say, because I got something for your ass. Go ahead.
This is the kind of guy this is. He put down $50,000, and I told him he
finish what you're saying, so I could burn your ass. Go ahead.
Hey, don't let me have to call Greg. Look here. Anyway, yeah, I think the peace is going to be just between men and American women, just sort of a mutual separation. And if one or two kind of meanders into each other's space, that's okay. But other than that, I don't think they're going to put a whole lot of effort trying to, make peace with each other. Gary, are you there?
I'm here. Yeah. All right, Jay, what you about to say before I say something?
So I heard a little bit. I don't know. I think you told about Simone from MSNBC. Is that correct?
No. Simone Blitz, or now called Simone Owens, is a gymnastic lady, a 26-year-old gymnast, a short African American gymnast that won gold medals. Simone Blitz.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No. So I got the. All right. I didn't hear. All right. So all right. I'm not going to speak on that, but I'm going to speak on what Mr. Solution said about women appreciating American men more than American women appreciating, or black American women. Well, let's question why they appreciate American women. Is it because of the finances or American men? Why do foreign women appreciate American men? Is it because of their bank account? Is it what they're providing financially? And then is it also that women are traditionally raised like that to be submissive the old traditional way? When you talk about a lot of these foreign countries, we're talking about countries that are backed up in time. They're still living in, 30, 40, 50 years behind in a lot of ways, even with certain technology, right? The only thing that they might have that's brand new is a phone, with the internet and stuff like that. But again, I would say that, does that also, and this is a question, is it something that also apply to men? Is it that men that are foreign men looking towards American women as a better opportunity, or appreciating American black women more than their women there because of the finances? Again, so I would just question that, as much as we saying that, men are going to get treated well, which most likely will, is it because of the backed up countries that you're dealing with? Is it the traditional way? Is it because she's really interested in getting her finances or elevating out of the country or out of the average marriage locally? And I'll leave it there. And Gary, welcome back, brother.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any response to that, Mr. Solution?
Yeah. I don't think you have a lot of the latter happening. I mean, of course, some guys may look to the women, but American women on the aggregate don't have a lot of money. Most of them are strapped with student loan debt. I mean, just huge indebtedness. And thus, most of them don't have any money. A good percentage of Americans, over half, are living on credit cards. So I don't think that's it. But look, Dr. Warren Farrell wrote a book called The Myth of Male Power. And one time I was in I was in a restaurant with some friends, and they pulled out this menu. And, I mean, it was a nice restaurant, everything. But my land, this menu had too many choices. Now, you may think, well, a lot of choices would be great. No, it's not. Sometimes there are just too damn many choices. And this thing was huge. It was colossal. And I just went, damn, this. Anyway, the point is that we're no longer in our evolutionary stage of survival. We're in the fulfillment stage now, right? We don't have to go out and kill an animal. We can just go to the market. So having a lot of choices may sacrifice former things. So women have a lot of options. They have modernity, they have lesbianism, they have Me Tooism, they can get wrapped up in materialism. In other words, there are a whole bunch of distractions. And, you know, a lot of women, whatever, their careers, you know, this sort of thing, and they get wrapped up in that. And I've dealt with some women who really didn't have time for a relationship. They were too busy. Now, they weren't doing anything of great importance. I mean, I can stand back and just do a survey, and many of them get sick because they're just overworked, overstressed, you know, going to work and to school and to work, commuting. I mean, but the point I'm trying to get at here is that people have a lot of choices today, and relationships are not foremost on their list of things to do. And this is true with a lot of women. They've been, quote unquote, liberated. I mean, there's a deregulated sexual marketplace. You know, women can go out and increase their body count. They can get on what's called the cock. They can get on the cock carousel. You know, so women are busy. They don't have time for relationships with one guy. And so what guys are doing, they're saying, okay, all right, I'll see you if I see you. And they go and do something that's more beneficial to them. So I think that's one reason, is that we're in the, like I say, in the fulfillment stage. We're not survival anymore. So there you go. Society has kind of moved into modernity, and women don't feel the need to be married to one man or to even have kids. A lot of women, especially professional women, they aren't having kids at the so-called replacement rate, which I think is about 2.3, 2.4, something like that per woman.
But usually if we talk about replacement, it should be roughly 3 kids.
Because it's 3. Okay, maybe so.
No. Everybody says 2, but to be honest, when I hear about replacement, in nature, depending what child you have,
yes.
If you have 2, that means something could happen. You could lose 1 or 2, possibly.
Well, I said 2 point. I gave a decimal point.
Yeah. I know the percentage of what you said, 2 point roughly, but usually to be modest, to be really there as actual, don't concern about losing people or what we call need a replacement, is usually 3 is the key.
Okay, but you know that point adds up when you get into the million.
Before you continue, let me open this.
I'm sorry, say it again.
All right. Who's this? Hello? Greg?
Yeah, it's actually 2.2.
All right. Wait, you got to wait. I want Ms. Sushin finish. Ms. Sushin there?
Yeah, I thought it was. I didn't think it was 3, Gary.
It's 2.2.
No, I added
Greg. Hi.
Yeah,
it's 2.2.
Merry Christmas.
No, I said 3, Ms. Sushin, because the reason why I say 3, when people say 2, I said 3 because it's much more logic. You get me? 3. Because
wait a minute. And I don't want to quibble that.
And you have 2 left. Because
I said 2.3, and that point adds when you get in.
That's only 2 children.
But that comes out to millions. That comes out to millions, Gary, when you add it over millions. See, we're 335 million people in America. And if you want to look at that in terms of reproductive aged women, that may put you over 50 million women, right?
I don't know.
That's a lot.
I gotta do the numbers. I gotta do the numbers.
I don't know about that.
We gotta be precise with numbers. We're not gonna do that right now because that's too much work. Yeah. But what's up, Greg? You back online? What's up? What's saying, man?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna chime in on the women thing. Now, I was in Europe for 4 years in the Army in the 80s, and the women were different. It was very noticeable when I got there. They were more feminine. They were in shape for one, because they walk a lot in Europe. They don't just try order everything and drive. They walk. They walk a lot. They're in shape and they're very feminine. And the most important thing I noticed, they were unique. They were into horticulture. They were in autos. They had interesting personalities, man. They had hobbies. And there was no comparison. Even now, I just noticed the difference, man. That the European women were marriageable. I mean, you met a lot of women that you could marry. Here, you might meet maybe one a month when I was dating that I would even consider marrying. Not even one. But when I was in Europe, man, I mean, I was meeting all kind of women that you could marry. They were agreeable. These women are not up to standard. I just noticed that when I was in Europe, man. They aren't there. Anyone who's ever traveled the world will tell you the same thing I'm telling you. Kevin Samuels, he was trying to keep black women and black women together. I just don't think it's going to work, man. I think I hate to say this, but I think black men have just outgrown black women. They just outgrown them. We aren't. I think it's dead. This black love shit. I hate to say it, but I really believe it's dead. Another thing. The menus are a lot. Cheesecake Factory's a lot of things in the menu, but I just think black love is dead, man. It died in the 70s, man. It's just women don't need us. They don't need us anymore. They want to make their own money. They want to do their own things. I think we should just let them go. The hell with it. Let black women go. I'm not gonna. My son, he asked me a question. I never told this to my sons. And they asked me questions. They're interesting about women, and I don't want to go there with them. I think they know black women ain't up to snuff, man. That's why a lot of brothers are getting their passports and they're going South America or South Asia or the continent, Africa.
I got some nice here. I'm gonna play this because she was asked some questions, Simone Blitz, about her relationship. Listen closely. It's like a skit.
I've heard gymnastics stunted your growth. Still don't know if that's true or not, but here I am at 4'8", so you constantly have a wedgie from your uniform. Yes, I know you can get wedgies, but usually you just fix them. Beauty's a pain, so we get over it. They're intimidating to men. I feel like at a young age, yes, because I feel like our muscles develop way quicker than other kids our age, especially like in middle school. You don't see boys beefing up to like 16, 18 till they hit puberty. But even before girls hit puberty, we gain muscle. So we're typically stronger than the men in our age group. So yes. How did you meet your current boyfriend? Was it on a dating app? So before I started dating my boyfriend, he didn't know who I was. Was it on Ryan? Yes, it actually was. No, we don't have to talk about it. It's fine. He's competitive at games and in life in general, but I'm not. But whenever I beat him, I make it known that I beat him. I've heard.
So there you have it. Now I'm not sure if this is recent or old. This might be.
What show is that from?
Huh?
What's that from?
This is a video skit. Simone asked a bunch of questions, including part about, her boyfriend, which she kind of was on the spot that she did not know him, meaning that he met him on a dating app. And he really knew who Simone Biles was. So I'm not sure what's the argument, the energy a lot of these ladies complain about. And like I said, okay, she probably made more worth net worth, okay. But if he's a football player and he plays to a certain level, that's going to overshadow the net worth. So, but my thing is this. Most dudes nowadays, they always will date up if needed. I'm not sure why this is so taboo here in the West. I heard non-black men, white men, have date up. And this is what I'm hearing. So I'm not sure what's so special about black men not doing so. I think it's like a mate guard when it comes to the ladies and the men in this community about who should be in control. And I think with a lot of ladies, in their mind, if you're not controlling this black man, you're not doing nothing at all.
So?
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
I don't agree with that.
Wait a minute.
Say that
again, Gary.
No, I'm saying, I hope y'all can hear me good, because remember, I'm on the computer, and this is going to be
Sometimes you cut out. Sometimes you cut out, but say it again.
Yeah, I can't fix it, so I'll repeat again. If you can't, go back and replay the stream.
Say it again.
I'll say this. Dating, up or down, if we want to go there. There are other racial men, non-black men date up, right? From what I'm hearing, I'm not sure what's so taboo from black men do it, even to the point where in our community, it seems to me that this dating thing or how we look at our relationships, that someone has to be in control. And for a lot of ladies that were in their feelings about Jonathan and Simone's relationship, that in their mind, they're looking at her and say, you should be controlling this black man. Why is this dude so confident that he's the prize? He's this and that. Very confusing.
Gary, a couple of things, and I think you say some things that tend to be somewhat confusing also, and that is that men in the same socioeconomic standard pretty much do the same thing. They tend to use the same accountants, visit the same markets, and so on and so forth. So it's not a strict racial thing. I think one limits themselves when they just have a full diet of racist leaning. And so I think the socioeconomic status of people is a much greater dictate of what they do. I don't know how you feel about that, Greg. And, of course, Jay from New York is kicking the hell out of $50,000. But
that's what he makes? $50,000?
No, he really put down $50,000, and I told him he shouldn't do that. But anyway, what I'm saying is that with the men and women situation, I think it's just gone to seed. It may come back in years to come, but the women now, like you take the average woman, she's in debt up to her eyeballs, right?
She is. Yeah.
In America, if they go to school, most likely they're going to be
but look here, Gary. Wait a minute. Let me just finish this point. See, the thing is, you got to understand that a lot of women who've gone to college, and they're praised for doing that, but whatever occupation they get into doesn't pay the bills. They don't make enough money to really pay off the student loan. I've met a number of them, $80,000, $100,000 in debt. And the interest is growing. Now, some of these women they say, well, the guys go overseas and they deal with these low quality, low budget women. But that's what they are too. They're broke too.
But you gotta understand, Ms. Solution, it's status. When we look at America, everybody think if they come to America or they meet an American person, they're thinking wealth, rich. A person with money. When they think about South America, Colombia, or a third world, or we could say even a good country that's not third world, they look at people outside America as poor, deprived, and don't got nothing but pot pissing. Because majority of Americans have not traveled outside United States.
Well, 50% have passports now. That changed almost in the blink of an eye. It went from in the low, I think it was the single digits, and all of a sudden they say about half of Americans now have passports. Now, we were talking about it not long ago, and I said there was an article about the passport guys. Go ahead.
Who's this?
So he was there. It's Jay back on that. But finish what you got to say. I got to go back at you again with the shit.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lucian. I had to open line.
No, I was just saying that, and I think it was Joe. Yeah, Joe said that it was due to people needing passports to go into the other countries. But that wasn't the subject of the article. The subject of the article was men going to other countries to date and marry women. And those men that are going over there, at least from my survey, they're going over there for at least three things. To date women, which there's nothing wrong with that. They're going over to find wives, and that's a good thing too. And some of them are actually starting businesses and buying property in those other in overseas countries.
You left out the one key. A lot of them are going out there straight up just to get prostitutes.
Okay, they do that here. They're cheaper there. Okay, they're a little bit cheaper there. They do that here.
A lot of them, they want a wife. They want to wife it. They want to wife a prostitute, or they want to wife a chick that is in poverty. I'm glad that Gary said exactly what it is. He said, when they hear America, remember, let's not forget, Mr. Solutions, the United States of America is considered the richest country in the world. So when you talk about you're in a third world country, right, outside of the United States, unless you in the UK, right, or Australia, right, everything else is after. So if you want to talk about the big boys on the block where there's riches, you're going to say, or consider, because they're Caucasian countries, so supposedly dominant, is UK, United States, Australia, right? But the United States sticks out more than every other country. So when you hear Americans are in a third world country, those people that live there, for the most part, they're seeing dollar signs. They're looking, and not in a malice way, malicious. They're probably looking for investment and all type of shit. But then there's women that's looking for their way out of. It's just like a chick from here that's looking for a way out of the hood and trying to meet somebody that got something. But don't get it twisted, Mr. Solutions. You put in all the black women in a box of women when you say that they're broke too. No, there's independent black women.
No, I'm not doing that. You're saying I'm doing that, but I'm not.
Let's clarify.
I'm saying that more women in every ethnic group matriculate. They at least enroll in college, all right? And they amass a lot of debt. That's all women.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay, so don't try to pigeonhole me there. One other thing, in those other countries, though, Jay, it's not just they're just rip-roaring to get with an American. They actually like American men for who they are. It's just like here, a lot of women like the men for what the men can do for them, like getting the bag. So it's not just there, it's here, it's everywhere, but maybe there a little bit less.
Right, but what I want to know from you, besides if you strip off all the money, what is it that they like more about the American then? You tell me what sticks out about a United States American, no matter what color. Take away the money, what is it that they're interested in?
The man. The man.
The man is
See,
what?
you may not understand that, but
wait, a body, a human.
Hold on,
man,
no.
Body?
Actually, there they value men. See, in many other countries except America,
Why?
Okay, because of what men do. Men, and see, you may not value men as much as you should. Men provide everything. Everything. Men both design it, produce it, and maintain it.
Maybe back then, but now.
No, now, right now, at this present moment. If you need
you got women. There's women CEOs, women running shit, women with their.
No, that's nothing. That's bullshit. I mean, those women are.
Now, you want to talk about on a level,
Mr. Solution, language, please. I'm not gonna have
so on the level of a man, you're not gonna compare and say, well, yeah, there's enough women that have businesses like men and are doing like men. No, but there's women that are rising, and what you're saying is that because men create everything and the women are over there, they're just like head over heels. Mr. Solutions is more to it than that. It's also how they're raised. That's something that's put in their mind. That's why a lot of those third world countries, they marry those girls when they're underage with an older man. They got money. And some of them countries even sell their children to men. So let's not play this game.
Well, wait a minute. I think you're tripping over yourself. You say that they're raised that way. That's right. Because that promotes less friction between men and women when men respect women and women respect men, and particularly women respect men for what they do. Now, I follow this thing all the time. You have a few women that are CEOs and a few women that are in positions that men formerly held, but they don't really add any value. They're just there mostly as placeholders. It's not like
how they don't add value.
Well, what I'm saying is they don't do anything a competent man wouldn't do, right? And most women don't want those positions anyway because they have to compete against the men who want them, and men are willing to work many, many hours nonstop, and women don't want to do that. Now maybe they have a little bit more sense. Excuse me?
Not all women. Again, we can't box.
Well, I'm not talking we're not talking about all in anything. But I'm saying when you look at corporate heads, and generally women take the easy jobs. They don't do the hard jobs. Like right now, we aren't drafting women. And check this out. When the Ukraine went to, but men have to sign up, though. And if they don't, they're punished. When Ukraine, all men between the ages of 18 and I believe something like 50, 46 or 50, they have to sign up for the military. The women left the country. And that's what usually happens when the shit really hits the fan.
Right, because most women ain't going to be doing those type of jobs.
But they want to be equal, though. They want equality, just like a man.
They should be
okay, but anyway,
but again, to say that these women out there is treating an American special because they respect the man or they love him, I would say it's more about the money and it's how they're raised. And yes, they're raised to do that because that's the domination of men inserting that from back then. So it's not
right,
about
but you need to understand that two things can be true at the same time, Jay.
Right.
Number one, yes.
That the man don't want no talk back over there.
There's a socioeconomic aspect to all relationships. That's understood. But there's also a respect and appreciation. And you answered it yourself. You just said that they're raised, their culture. That means both men and women contribute to their offspring. The women having appreciation for the men. Now, that's true in the Hispanic culture, too, because if you notice, like in many Hispanic households, the daughters are taught to serve the father and the brothers. And a lot of times women in other ethnicities, when they do that, if you want to say the ones that identify as black, they clown each other for doing that. And I noticed one woman...
changing, right? You know that.
Hold on. One woman said to her friend, she said, well, that's the reason you guys don't have a man. Don't try to tell. You manless women don't try to tell me how to treat my man. They showed up at a party, and she went to prepare her man a plate. And her friends, so-called, start to turn their nose up. Let him get his own plate. And the woman stopped and said, look, you guys are single. I have a man. Don't try to tell me how to treat my man. So I my hat was off to that woman for standing up for treating her man in a special way. And that's what causes men to come back home instead of roaming, is when they have something at home to return to.
Being a servant, again, that's you're talking about old tradition, old way of thinking, and I would say this: more women.
Yeah, a lot of that works.
Right. Well, look, comparison of the American women here, or American black women, is that they have woken up to a lot of that shit. They're not going to play that game. Again, the game of the old traditional, what you think is a woman's place. You understand?
Okay, well, look, if you're speaking
for
women,
that shit is about to change, and so we're going through a transition, and a lot of people are holding on to that old way of thinking. And again, like I said, listen, it's going to catch up even to the South American, Central American women. As they keep developing, right, and we're in the internet age, right, there's going to be a change even down there. So what I would say is this: have your fun while it is here, because all that shit's going to change little by little. Now,
well, you're very cynical.
Hold on.
Okay, but I want to get this before you get too far, but go ahead.
Let me hear Jay.
There's going to be certain women that are going to traditionally still go by that. You're always going to find women that are going to be there. But what I'm saying is that in these populations and places, you're getting more and more women that are becoming independent. They're studying, and they're saying, you know what, if they don't need a man, if they want a man, they'll have a man, and they're not going to be a servant cooking and serving plates to the man like she's a servant. That's all. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I don't consider it to be a servant or a chore for a woman to do for her man. But okay, since you're making that argument, and that's a very female argument, by the way, so the men are saying, great, okay, see you. Buy a dog and die alone.
But
you
Mr.
saying that.
Hold on. Let me say this. And let me open Greg's line one more time. All right, Greg, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Wait, just wait right there.
Okay.
What you find here in developed to other undeveloped countries, and like I said, we have not traveled every part of every other continent, and there's 7 continents or 6 roughly, but who's keeping track of how society is structured. I know Asia, especially China, very developed. I'm not sure if any talk about independent women over there, because most of the Chinese still run by men, and they let it slide to a degree, and they're not gonna let it go through like what we witness here in the West. But outside other first world developing nations, some will fall culprit to the Western poison, and it's gonna happen when you develop more undeveloped countries. You get me? Now, I'll agree with that to you, Jay. Now, in regards to maybe if any pushback, that for those men that's looking for a certain archetype of woman, I mean, it's going to make more men to be due diligence and to really explore out. And if they're serious to find a woman that they seek worthy of, copulating. Now, and the reason why I say this, because as unfortunately how the society structure here in America and the West is not favored right now for men at this point, unless they're going to risk it and say, screw it, I'm going to find my knees one time, get up, fall again, get up, fall again. And usually if you're a person, depending on your finance and where you are status-wise, how much you make a year or whatever, you always got to think, is it worth the cost to really take that and then no one saying, I will have to pay out, then have to do it again and pay out. It's always a win-loss if you're going and tackle the relationship part here in America, if any person is going to do that. So I'm going to let somebody else speak to really push back what I said or whatever.
Hey, look, man, where I live, here in D.C., there's a lot of black women or women in general that are being evicted. right? During the pandemic. I see there's a lot of women, I have my hands over, that are getting evicted after the pandemic, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't think women, I really don't think that women want to do it alone. They'll all start to crack now. Like Ms. Solution said, men are checking out, man. The men are found they really don't need women to marry them anymore. They've had enough of that shit. I think having a husband or a boyfriend in the future, because they said by 2030, half of women will be without a man. I think a man is going to be I think, goddamn, Patriots won. I think that having a boyfriend is going to be a luxury item, or a husband. It's going to be a luxury item. Men are checking out. They're saying no to all this shit. And women are going to be the biggest losers. These women aren't making. Look, man.
If you didn't get it, bro, pussy runs the world, bro. I don't think you understand that.
But pussy, I know.
Listen,
but pussy's free.
Pussy.
Pussy's free, bro. It's not that hard to get pussy, bro. Man, you're naive, bro. You're naive. Yeah, but they aren't getting married anymore. They aren't having girlfriends. Okay? I'm seeing it right now. I know a lot of dudes they're fucking, but they aren't married.
Listen.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Please.
Men are getting sex, but they're not getting married. Okay? Put that through your little peanut brain of yours. Okay? JNYC?
You're talking about the new gen. You're talking about
they aren't getting married. They aren't getting married.
Married later.
No, they're not.
Married later.
They're not getting married. I can't remember last. No, you know, I can't remember.
We're gonna move forward because I don't want back and forth.
I can't remember last time I've been to a wedding. I've been to a wedding probably in 7 years. I've been to a wedding. None of my buddies are getting married. None of their kids are getting married, man. It's changed.
That's why.
They're not getting married. My sons aren't thinking about having a wife. For one, they can't afford it.
He's
going to get
married later.
No, I don't think he will. He might, but man, my generation, I'm actually, I'm killing the baby boomer.
We're talking about now. So
they're not getting. Look at the rates. Look at the marriage rates, bro.
But if you talk, hold on. You talk. We have Mr. Solutions talking about how men are going right now to other.
They are. They're leaving.
They're trying to get married.
That's right.
That means they're trying to get married. What do you mean?
But the rates are down.
Getting married or they not?
The rates are down. Look at the marriage rates. They're low, man. 30% of black women are married.
Didn't you claim that they're getting married?
They are, but the marriage rates are down. It's black women, 30% of black women are married. 60% of white women are married. I think 27% of black men are married. There's this 1911, the turn of the century, 98% of the black men and women were married. 1910, and it's been going down since I think the 60s or 70s. It's been dropping. And marriage is the opposite. Women don't think they need it. They don't need. They say they don't need men. Well, prove it. I want to see it. I think they do. You know, my wife. You know what? My wife talks a lot of. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. But this guy, Jay, doesn't know what he's talking about. What?
Go ahead, Greg.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that, look, my wife has a degree. My ex-wife had a degree. A girlfriend had degrees. But that doesn't equate to making more money than men. Men still earn. Black men still earn women. I don't give a damn what you say. I'm an electrician.
You go to a foreign country to meet your wife, though?
No, she's
met them there,
here.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking about foreign women, right? So we're talking
my wife
about
is a different age. My wife's in a different age bracket. My wife is in her 50s now. We're talking about 20-year-olds, huh?
We're talking about we're talking about men right now in general. Whatever age is leaving right now overseas, or they're going to South Central America, and they're getting
Let me address that, Jay.
Go ahead, Mr. Solutions.
See, what happens is a successful man has more to lose, especially given the civil court system in America. So I've heard men actually state they would never get married in America, or they have to do it in a very careful way. I'll give you a couple of things I've gone over. Now, I haven't heard the guys talk about this, but there's Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, you have the West Virgin Islands, And I also use Hawaii. It's just an uncontiguous U.S. But those others are territories and commonwealths. So what that means is the man could actually bring the woman here, but she's from a different culture. They do have more respect for men in those venues that I just mentioned. And if the relationship doesn't work out, the woman can either stay here because she's already a citizen, or she can return to her home country. But see, the U.S. State Department, if you go on their website, if you bring a woman from areas other than what I just mentioned, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, American Samoa, and I use Hawaii too, but I just explained that. You don't have to sponsor those women. See, if you bring a woman from Thailand or a woman from Brazil or any of those other places, the DR, you have to sponsor those women. And so what men are doing, they're either staying there, because I think in Brazil now it's like 5-1. It may be more than that, but you get 5 times your purchasing power for the dollar. So some men are taking women out, but the women are more peaceful. They're not having to fight the women. The women are not like competitors. And you said this a moment ago, Jay, so I'm just going to seize upon your statement. Those cultures, many of them are like 30 years behind the U.S. So that's a long time. That's actually an entire generation. 30 years is a long generation. 20 years is considered a short generation. So that's a lot of time for the two parties to enjoy each other. So there's still a benefit going to these other countries. And don't think these other countries are bad. One can live a nice middle-class lifestyle. I watch the guys, they send back pictures or what they call receipts of where they're living. They're living in safe places, this kind of stuff. So there's a class structure there, too, just like there is here. So they are living better. They're eating better, eating fresh food.
What is the dollar to their dollar, wherever that is? You said 5 times. So
well, in Brazil, it's like 5-1, right. And in Thailand, it may be more like 10-1. And in the Philippines, but look, there are multiples. Just think multiples. So going out to dinner, instead of it being $200, $300, $400, it's like under $50 for 2 people. All they can eat. Healthy food that doesn't have all the pesticides and other, harmful agents. So it's a much better life, stress-free, healthier. There you go.
Right, but financially, again, if we're talking about women that are seeking American men, I question what is their real, interior motive. What is they really marrying these guys? Are you saying that you as an American man is more charming than a man from that area, and your finances got nothing to do with anything?
Okay, see, there you go again with these damn hyperbolic streams. Okay, no one has to live. See, you're making an argument where you are assured to win. Okay, but no one is saying what you're.
It's not about what I say.
That's a straw man argument. The fact of the matter is, on the aggregate, it's a better life. The women are more cooperative. It's not perfect. I'm not saying it's flawless. Let me just give you an example. On a scale of 1 to 10, if men have been experiencing below average, like 3s and 4s, that is lifestyle, dating, this kind of thing with women, over there it's like 7 and 8. Because they talk about the women hitting the gyms. Women are in those gyms because over there, Jay, women actually compete for men, right? They compete for men. And so it's in part what you say. It's in part they're xeno, they're exotic, right? That. And they have a socioeconomic status. Some of them are called digital nomads, but they're in a lot of different businesses, and many men over there. They're content creators, So there are multiple reasonings, and as long as a guy doesn't get over there and respect the existing culture and try to learn the language a little bit and behave yourself, hey, you fit right in. So it's a win-win situation. Go ahead.
Yeah, Gary.
Jay,
yeah.
Speak up, man. You're away from your phone. I can barely hear you, bro.
So again, I question the ultimatum or what is really the agenda for this woman. I don't think that not all, because I'm not going to box in all, but I'm going to say a significant amount of those women are looking at American men as dollar signs, seeing white men that are married to these South American and Central American women, and they have seen that they hit the jackpot, they're getting out the hood. That's the mentality. When the white man goes down there, he's getting himself an exotic woman that is going to do whatever he wants, or most of the things he wants, because he got the money. Point blank.
Well, what I've heard guys say, now they're living there, you're not, and I'm not, but I've heard them say, look, they want a woman. They don't want the bottom of the barrel women. They want, because they consider themselves, quote unquote, high-value men. So they want a woman that has her place to stay, her own place. She has a vehicle, and she has an occupation. She's gainfully employed. Now, I heard them talking about the criteria. Now, see, you seem just overly pessimistic or cynical, and I don't know why you have to be that way. But why can't you be positive? But what these men are doing...
I'm being real, bro. It's not about being pessimistic. Listen, we understand that some men go there legitimately and meet a woman and not
they're going over there. They're enjoying their lives. They're sending back receipts. And they're saying to other men, come here and see for yourself. So I think you need to look into some of that too.
Well, no, I know about that, and I would say a large amount are going over there, and they're going.
Well, but you wouldn't be saying what you're saying.
No. The truth. No. We got to be real. A lot of men are going down there purely to have sex with women, good-looking women for cheap price.
But wait a minute. What's wrong with that? Stop right there. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. Just be real.
Stop
and stop acting like, it's the woman from here, and they treat them better because you're a great man. Bullshit.
Well, that's what they're saying.
That's bringing the cash. They'll say whatever they say when that cash is in the damn tape.
Have the cash here, and it's not working. Okay, so there you go. You're canceled out.
No. Your cash goes a long way, and a woman will tell you anything if she's interested in getting that money. Stop. Let's not play that.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, look, I think you are excessively cynical, right?
Hold on. Let me stop this because I'm past my time. I'm gonna say this, Jay. Be fair with you, bro. Men are gonna go where their money goes further and get what they need. If you can't get in America, by all means, book a flight ticket, go over there, and get your rocks off. I'm not here promoting dick policing or telling men say you need to spend money here if you have it not. Overall, at the end of the day, men need needs be met. And regardless, guys over there, and trust me, I have one friend that I had on my channel. If you subscribe to the channel, which you're not, but I'll give you this, Jay. Yeah, it's different atmosphere when you're over there, and it makes sense it's going to be different because a lot of women outside America have not been westernized. Some of them are doing well, and some are not doing well. It depends what you're looking for when you leave America to go somewhere else. And let's be honest, a lot of women that's getting caught up by the dudes that's passport bros, I'm going to tell you a little secret. You ready, Jay? I'm going to end the stream. Jay, you there?
Go ahead, Gary. We're listening.
Is that Jay? Who's that? Oh, Jay, you there?
Yeah, now I hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I met the wrong person.
No, don't worry about it.
No, don't mind. I'm going to open up as a wrap this up.
I got you. Go ahead.
It's this. They're traveling. They're going to pay for it one way or the other. Right? They have to interact. It's going to be different feel because you're there, America, and they see it. In their mind, it says dollar signs and opportunity. That is it. Regardless of who they have in their own inner circle, it can be a come up. Now, my good friend Andre, because he's in Colombia and he's married to a Latin woman, he talks about experience here in the States and here over here. And I agree with the man because of the frustration. I'm not knocking because he's a married man now. He's settled down also. The point is this. Most men, after some point in life, they either they're going to get the outcomes they need or they go somewhere else. And the one thing now has come to me now, Jay. There are black women now that's traveling, having question, and having the so-called conversation with black men that's no longer really invested in America, which I find it very weird. But that's another story. That's another story. But I can't go into in the stream because it's been a long time since I came on TRS. But I will say this. If the men travel, if the men are no longer here invested, leave them alone. Let them go out, do their thing. You get me? The only thing that
let's call it what it is. Yeah, let's just call it what it is.
But Jay,
the solutions is playing games.
But be honest with you, bro, regardless of what they call it is, that's not our concern now. That some of them are no longer here. It's like me saying, I'm here in America, I'm paying for chicks here. No one's got a problem. But if I was the other person, I'm going outside, they say, well, why you know you're over there? That's
I don't care. I don't care either way. My point is that what Mr. Solutions is he's painting the picture that they're going over there and the women are attracted to these men purely because of their great men or whatever. And I'm saying, just be real. It's about the money. He's trying to make it seem like it's different. No, let's be real. That's all.
Okay. I think I follow what you mean. I think I follow what you say. That they say the great men. Let me tell you something. I'm a man. You're a man. I don't give a fuck if women. I go over there and say I'm great. I need my needs met. If I go outside America, go somewhere else, I'm gonna be upfront honest with what my intentions are. Period. I don't care what anybody else worry about what I do outside America. I'm not paying over here for sex. I know you don't pay for sex. I don't pay for sex. So if a man don't get it here easy, I tell him go somewhere else. Hold on, let me open this line. Somebody raised their hand just now. Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, how are you doing? Yeah, sure. Make it quick, somewhat.
Come on, man. Stretch it out, Gary. Don't go nowhere, Gary. You should keep it going, bro.
Relax. Let me run the show.
Okay, I'm not gonna be in here long because I'm really tired of this conversation with dudes who act like women. Okay, and my point is that these dudes that say this stuff that they're going over there and they want people to be real and all that. Well, to be real, I always question these dudes. Well, why aren't you married here in America? Well, why aren't you married? If it's so great, why aren't you married? Because
is that a direct question to Jay?
Hold on, because they're no different than the dudes who are traveling. You see, if that's the case, so don't tell me.
And talk up close to the mic.
Huh?
Talk up closer. Just talk up closer if you can. A little bit closer.
So don't try to question dudes who decide to travel. Some dudes go over there strictly for pleasure, and some go for business, and try to find that special someone. That's life. That's how it works out in life. Every guy that goes over there ain't looking to be married. They're not. They're looking to be married. Some dudes been married before. They're not trying to be married again. They're not. So what I'm saying, dudes who love America that much and love some of the bullshit here in America, why? Our question dudes all the time, why aren't you married? Happily married. So the same dudes who's talking this shit, they're not even married. They're not even married. So again, that's how I look at this thing, man. I think that it gets to a point. I think Mr. Solution was right on point when he was saying these, some of these dudes go over here and they do find that. They do find love. They do find that. And then there's the ones who don't care about love no more. They just strictly care about pleasure, and that's it. They ain't trying to be married to nobody. They don't care where they're from.
All right, yeah, sure. All right.
All
right, Dan.
So that's all I'm trying to say, man.
All right. Well, I'm not sure if that was a direct question to you, Jay. If you want to respond right now. Come out to call it a night. Go ahead.
All right, so I mean, I don't know if it was directed because for what
he's asking, you said if it's so good in America, why are you not married?
Well, it has nothing to do with me in America or not America. My point is just being clear of what Solution put on the table. Like these women, again, on large amounts, because everybody's not going for the same thing. But I'm saying that he's making it that these women are accepting these American men solely because they're great men and there's no money involved, or there's no money that is interest, or there's no elevation in their life. They're not looking for if you want to say like a come up, if you want to say, right? Then again, whether it's malicious or not, whether they want their lives to change, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm saying specifically to what he said is that let's not act like these women in Central America, South America, or wherever is third world, that they're accepting and loving you because you have better qualities than the men over there. A lot of it has to do with money. And again, everything is not boxed in as one thing. I'm saying that a large amount, when you talk about men coming in, and whether they get prostitutes, that's their business. Do what you want to get 1,000 women all over. That's your business. The point is, what I'm trying to make is that Mr. Solutions is acting like these men are not admitting that they're going out there for a good time and they're spending the money, and that's how they get the good time. It's not that they're going out there broke and saying, hey, love me for me, and we're going to get married and everything happens like that. For the most part, that ain't happening. There is cases, and not every woman, I said it, is broke over there. And they're not just, living third world. There's women that got jobs, they got education, and they want to see, just like we like foreign women, and some men are not going over there purely to find a woman for pure sex. He's looking for a woman just outside of the country to just explore or whatever. Yeah, we have that, but let's not play that game. Mr. Solution, you ain't get married overseas or here, so that's my point. So if you going overseas, obviously you ain't find nothing there, and for the most part, you're gonna have to spend some money to do that. Whether you're spending it on the girl specifically or for prostitution, or you're spending money to be out there to find whatever you're doing. And at some point, again, you're not going to be the broke guy that they're going to accept because you ain't got no goddamn money, and you're just going to be like, oh, well, yeah, she's going to marry a broke American. I doubt that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for listening to today's stream. It's been a while, man, as you know. I might do this again soon. Who knows? I had to come back on, because it's been a while, And, I think somebody was supposed to, in the chat room, ain't calling, but that's their business, We're not worried about it because I do content. Unfortunately, I do it. I do the bad thing, I can't speak for everybody else. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys were informed. And maybe I might do this again soon. Who knows, But other than that, thank y'all for listening. Until next time, take care and good night.